Hi, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Cami, and I'm all about helping you take control of your life and live it on your terms, regardless of your financial situation. So, I want to talk about how our need for approval is blocking us from living our dream life and how we can overcome it. If you're new here, I do want to mention that this is the last video in my series on 4 common mental blocks that could be holding you back from living your dream life. So far, we've covered the fear of change or the unknown, perfectionism or the fear of failing, your mindset about money, and if you want to learn how to overcome all of those things, I've left links to those videos in the description and in the comments. But today, I want to go over how our people-pleasing tendencies or our need for approval or permission is hindering us from living our dream life. So, getting approval or permission for the things that we do, it helps us feel safe. It helps us feel that we're on the right track in life. It makes us feel as though we're doing the right thing. You know, it's like when you're growing up and you have all of those milestones, like you have to go to, elementary school and then middle school and then high school. And then you have a variety of options from there. But the most common is to go to post-secondary and then maybe get your master's and then find a job and then get married and then buy a house and then have a kid and maybe have more kids. Following along a well-defined path and a path that many others have trodden on allows us to feel normal. And growing up, getting approval or permission for things did keep us safe. Not only to ensure that our needs would be met, but it also kept us safe from ourselves and from potentially making poor choices or bad decisions. And we also don't want to disappoint others because growing up, we likely learned that disappointing others felt unsafe. And I understand that there are no guides to life, right? So getting approval or permission or affirmation from someone else that we're doing the right thing is like a guide to us. And it gives us confidence to keep going on our chosen path. But this approval, it is one of the things that can hold us back from living our dream life because people may not always approve of the things we do. A lot of times they probably won't. And if we wait for approval from others, if we're too afraid to disappoint others, we may never go after the things we want. And is that really the type of life you really want to live? So I want to talk about a couple of the ways that have helped me get through or get over that need for approval. The first one I want to mention is to recognize that you cannot live for other people. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but if you do that, then you're not actually living for you. I heard this quote the other day. I think I heard it from Dan Coe here on YouTube. I think he was quoting someone else, but the quote was, if you don't create a product to sell, you will continue selling a product for someone else. So similarly, if you don't create a life for yourself, you're going to be living a life for someone else. Someone else is going to dictate to you how you must spend your time. Someone else is going to dictate to you how long you can take vacation and where you can go. Someone else is going to dictate to you your hobbies. Someone else is going to dictate how long you can rest. Someone else is going to dictate who you are and how you must live instead of you defining that for yourself. You get one life, one chance on this beautiful blue planet. Are you sure you want to live it that way, where other people are always dictating to you what you do, where you are always living for other people and never have the opportunity to live for yourself? And as a person who is also overcoming people pleasing, I know that working through mental blocks like this isn't easy, but you don't have to do it alone. So if you're feeling stuck, and you need some clarity on these things that are holding you back, I'd love to help you get clearer on your next steps and invite you to a 30-minute clarity call with me. So in this session, in this clarity call, it's a 30-minute session, and we'll work together to identify what's standing in your way and create a plan to help you move forward. And if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, you can book a call with me through the link in the description, or I'll also leave a link in the comments. Now, the second way to overcome this need for approval is, honestly, getting used to some disapproval. And I'll explain, because it's not that people always hate you or want the worst for you as to why they're disapproving, but they're not living your life. So they're just not going to understand your dreams. What they're going to do is they're going to be coming at you from their experience and the things that they've seen work for themselves and for others. But what has worked for them may not work for you, and that's okay. And that's one of the reasons we need to get used to some disapproval. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I talk about some concepts like manifestation and such. And I heard a curious thing recently that I wanted to share. So I don't remember which YouTuber this was, but someone was talking about how the past, present, future are linked. And we have the desires that we have because we have those things or attain those things at some point in the future, or we have them at some point in some dimensional timeline. Now, at first, this sounds a little bit ridiculous, but it got me thinking about why some people desire some things and others don't. Like, take, for example, becoming a doctor. I've never in my life desired to become a doctor. God bless them, but I've never desired that. But some people do, right? Like, some people desire to become teachers or to become famous or to have large families or small families or to become YouTubers. But not everyone desires the same thing, right? And I say that to say, sometimes when people are disapproving of how you want to live your life, again, it's not that they want to, hate you or control you. And I mean, maybe they do think that you're making a mistake or doing the wrong thing. But as I mentioned, they don't have the same desire that you have. For whatever reason, there are differences in the things that we desire. And what you desire, they likely might think that it's wrong or not wise because they've never desired that. And that's okay. So you're not actually doing something, wrong or bad. You just have different desires. Like me, as you already know, I desire to not have to work again for someone else, right? And I haven't worked a job for over a year now. But I had a relative question my choice about that the other day, especially me being so young. Like, they said, they would continue to stack up as much as they could for as long as they could. And I mean, I'm clearly not doing that. Now, does that mean that my decision is wrong or bad? No. I mean, maybe to them, my decision is wrong or bad because it's not something that they would choose to do or, would choose to do right now. But it just means that we have different desires, and that's okay. And I think reframing the disappointment or rethinking about the need for approval as just people have different desires than I do, I think thinking about it in that way can start to get us over that hump of approval and get us closer to living the life we want. And speaking of living the life we want, I'd love to know from you, what's one desire you've been afraid to go after because of what others might think, or because of, that fear of disappointing people, or because you think you might need permission to do it first? Leave a comment below and let me know. I want to let you know that you're not alone in this. So, hearing from you might just inspire someone else who's feeling the same way. Now, I think the last way I want to mention to overcome this need for approval is to look for others who are doing the same thing you want to do or living the life that you want to live. So, as I mentioned, sometimes that approval we get from others or the affirmation we get from others that we're doing the right thing, it can feel like a guiding light to us, right? But something else that we can do instead of waiting on approval is to look for others who are doing the thing or who have done the thing that we want to do. Because if others can do it, that means that we can certainly do it. I mean, I think I've mentioned this before in other videos, but I don't think that people are so unique that no one has ever done the same thing. I mean, we have some trailblazers, and maybe you're one of them, but in general, someone somewhere has done it before or has done something similar. Like, what I'm saying is, I think our desires are unique, but not so unique that we will never find someone else with a similar desire. And that's, one of the reasons we create communities, right? Our desires may be different from others around us, but it doesn't mean that they're different altogether. So something I've done that has helped me and really gave me a lot of confidence was looking for people who have done the thing that I wanted to do. We live in the age of the internet, and there are so many stories from so many other people with varying life experiences that we can access now. So when I feel like I need, approval or for someone to affirm my desires, I go and look on the internet for someone who either has done the thing that I want to do or has done something very similar. And I'll look at a bunch of people who have done it, right? Because as I mentioned, there are very likely other people who have done the thing that I want to do, and in varying ways. So I'll look at a bunch of people to see how they achieved it, what their circumstances were when they achieved it, how similar their circumstances are to mine, or look up people with similar circumstances to mine. And that not only starts to give me confidence to go after the thing I want, but because I'm taking in all of this information, my brain starts to think about all the ways that I could also achieve that very same thing. Something else I would also do is join various groups that are about the things I want to do. I don't actually like Facebook, but I think that Facebook groups can be one of the most helpful things when it comes to this. So I would find groups on Facebook about the things I want to do, and then I would join those groups and look in the discussions that they're having and ask questions. And doing that would give me even more confidence in going after the thing I want, because not only am I seeing other people doing it, I'm directly interacting with these people who have done it or are actively doing it. And that reinforces to me that the thing I want is not only not wrong or bad, but it's actually possible for me. So to recap, our need for approval or for permission to go after the things we want is something that can hold us back from living our dream life. And we can overcome it by remembering that our lives are ours to live, by reminding ourselves that our desires aren't wrong, it's just, different from others around us, and by looking for people who have already done the thing we want to do, which will give us confidence to move forward, because if others have done it, that means we can also do it too. But, if after hearing all of this, you're still feeling unsure or overwhelmed about, how to break free from people pleasing or approval or any other mental block, if you're still feeling that, you need some help with this, I'd love to help you work through it in a clarity call. So together, we're going to dive deep into what's really holding you back, bring your dreams into focus, and get you on the path to living the life you want. So if you'd like me to work with you on this, I've left a link, as I mentioned, in the description and in the comments. So you can just click there if you need some help with that. So that's it. As always, let me know if you thought this was helpful, because as I always say, my entire goal with this channel is to empower you to live life on your terms. So I appreciate knowing if I'm actually doing that, or at least helping you feel more positive. And if you subscribed, whether from this video or in the past, just comment below and let me know, because I can't see who most of my subscribers are, and I'd love to personally welcome you to the channel. Anyway, thank you for watching. This concludes the 4-part series, and I'll see you in the next video.